Having fun out there with the rest of them. Who's having the most fun? Christopher Bell, the restart leader. And he puts the 60 back to the point in turn 2.
And Christopher did a really nice job right there. He made sure and did overdrive turn 1, hooked right around the middle of the corner and able to get a good launch, leaving these guys, Derek Thorne in the 6 by 2 or 3 car lengths.
Creed stuck on the outside now in the 40. You can see he just does not get any drive off out there.
Yeah, it's almost like you, as a race car driver, you get on that top groove, you don't have any grip, and you start panicking a little bit. But all these guys trying to keep Sheldon Creed pushed to the outside. Losing a lot of valuable spots right here.
It's got to be frustrating. Keith's trying to get in there now. Fenderless and all on the right front there, but Sheldon's going to hold him off. Meanwhile, Derek Thorne sticking with Christopher Bell nicely here with pressure from Kraus from behind.
So cool to see Derek Thorne come out here and race with these guys, being able to stay right there with Christopher Bell, who has a ton of dirt experience, as we mentioned many times throughout the night, but just shows his experience. I'm so impressed with him as a race car driver. I've gotten to know Derek Thorne over the course the last few years, so really impressive for that guy to come out here and show his maturity and his age a little bit, to be able to come out here and really put on a good show for him and his team.
By contrast, his teammate Partridge, he races a lot of different things, including K&N Pro Series, and I know has been out in a dirt car this year just to kind of make sure he knows where he is when he gets here, and he's doing well.
Yeah, definitely a good move, and you can see it paying off tonight. As you mentioned, Ryan Partridge, I mean, you'll be at a racetrack somewhere. I can remember showing up at Kern County Raceway Park watching a late model race, and somebody drove by in a car that looked like the Sunrise Ford cars. It was a modified, and it's like, who's driving that thing? Oh, it's Ryan Partridge.
That's Ryan Partridge,
so
yeah.
He's definitely got that racer blood in him for sure.
This is the battle, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, but the leader is right there. Haley Deegan back a little bit now in the 19 car. Tim Ward in the 34. And then Brendan Gaughan in the black and yellow 62.
And with just 19 laps to go, Dave, I think the best thing that Haley Deegan can do is really just try to conserve that right rear tire. We heard Dylan talk about some of these guys having issues burning up the right rear in practice throughout the test and their heat races. So she just needs to hang on, keep some good track position, and hope for a caution to close back up to this top 5 group.
See the last lap times roll by on the bottom there. And as you look back and see Brendan Gaughan making good speed here tonight at the dirt track, his whole championship team from back in 2001 reunited to help Brendan get into this race. In fact, crew chief Shane Wilson is there as well, the one who directed him to the championship. They've had a fun time just kind of reliving the past and looking to the future with dirt and the K&N Pro Series.
Yeah, it's so cool to see that loyalty out of Shane Wilson and Brendan Gaughan. I can remember growing up watching those guys work together, and even to see them come back and work together here tonight at this track, it just really shows that relationship and that chemistry that they have as a team. So really cool. And one of the funny stories, I talked to Brendan Gaughan in the garage area yesterday during the test session, and he was like, man, this might be one of the old cars that I ran back in the day when I was working with Shane. And actually, I looked down in it, looked at the serial code. It was a car that I had built at Turner Motorsports as a K&N car with Mike Hillman Jr. And Bill McAnally actually bought that car off of us. So pretty cool to see it out there and turn it into a dirt car tonight. And he's having a pretty solid run.
These cars have lots of lives in NASCAR. Oh, now you can see the 9 of Partridge. He slipped up there trying to get around the lap car, and Creed is going to take that spot. That's for 4th.
We've seen that so many times. That turns 1 and 2 just seems to be a little more treacherous than 3 and 4. Guys slipping up, spinning out, really leaving that bottom open. Sheldon Creed there to take advantage of it.
You can see him pull away from Partridge, but with 14 laps to go, Brandon, I'm not sure he's got time for Christopher Bell, who is checked out.
Well, it seems to be, I don't really know the transition on a long run on the dirt versus an oval, but it seems to be that 40 car of Sheldon Creed has that long run speed. He's able to chip away at these guys. We've seen his weakness be on the restarts, especially when he's on that outside, just getting a little antsy and leaving the bottom open. So I'm sure him and his crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz are hoping for a little bit of a long run as he's able to close in on Derek Kraus for the 16.
Here he comes. Kraus holds down 3rd, but Sheldon Creed is right there.
And one of the storylines tonight, Dave, is after being out here for the test session yesterday and watching these guys practice, everyone being on the bottom. I think everyone was really worried that the racing wouldn't be very good, but Chris Wright and NASCAR, they put on a great show here tonight. Even though the
spin in front of the leaders. Sorry, Brandon, right in front of the leaders. Car goes around. Can't tell through the dust who that is, but that's going to bring the caution out with just 10 laps to go. And you're right on the preparation between the track and NASCAR. Getting this track ready in triple-digit heat, baking in the sun, has been tough. Oh, and now you can see it's Cody Vanderwaal's 43 car.
I was talking about modified racing earlier with Ryan Partridge. Looks a lot like Cody Vanderwall did a little modified race tonight, just missing the front end of that car. Tough break for him, and we've seen Cody have a great year. He dominated the races at Tucson. Place is probably closest to the dirt track that we go to, as wore out as that asphalt is. So tough break for Cody Vanderwall tonight.
He gets a point in the right direction. And now a restart for Bell. Hoodless and all, can he hold off the field with just a few laps remaining? Behind them, Derek Kraus and Sheldon Creed. And firing off was Bell with a big jump back to the lead.
He got a really big jump, but I'm sure NASCAR's watching the replay of this restart right here, Dave. It looked like he got rolling a little bit early. He's able to clear the field. I'm sure he's hoping that he doesn't get a penalty because he's cleared by 5-6 car lengths over Sheldon Creed.
And the big loser there was Derek Thorne in the 6 car. He started on the outside of Christopher Bell, and we saw him get wide down there in turns 1 and 2, Brandon, and he just lost all those spots.
Well, not only that, just being able to come to the restart, you know, that cone is really tough as a second-place starter because you're trying to gauge and listen to the leader. Derek Krauskin really crossed up. A lot of damage on the front of that car.
Big contact. Left front of the 16 all squashed in. Now he's going to have the left rear hit by his teammate Cole Rouse. Meanwhile, Bell speeds away.
Yeah, Bell's really checked out right now, but these two teammates getting in the back of one another.
Oh, and Rouse spins Kraus around, and Kraus is going to end up nosed into the wall. That's going to bring out another caution late in the going. Wow.
Man, teammates too, Dave. That's going to be a tough Monday morning conversation with Bill. That's yeah, that's tough. It looked like Derek Kraus just had a lot of issues on that lap, coming down the back straightaway, getting a lot of damage on the front end, trying to squeeze in front of Cole Rouse.
Here comes Rouse in the black and yellow 99 to the inside, or whatever is the inside there, the inside of Kraus.
And he had just rolled up to that quarter panel, so I don't really think Cole Rouse in the 99 did anything wrong. I think it's just a product of both guys being sideways and fighting for the same real estate here in the closing laps. But you can definitely see Cole is to the left rear of that 16 car. Everyone's just fighting for the bottom, and we've seen that all night long. A lot of damage on these left rear quarter panels. People just being aggressive and trying to get down into that right line because they know the top is no good.
Laps are dwindling. This race coming to a conclusion. And now we're getting some interesting words. A lot of activity in the NASCAR booth here. They've been checking out that restart on replay. Dylan, what do you know?
Well, guys, they just black flagged Christopher Bell and put him to the back. They said he jumped that restart the last time around, the last restart. So what was turning into a great day obviously has just been negated, and he's not going to get the finish he deserves.
And that cone to the right there, Brandon, that's the restart cone. There's another one back there by a white tire, too. That's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, and as a driver, I could see where Christopher Bell might have been a little confused. In the K&N series, they have an outside cone up on the wall with a red stripe. You can see that first cone on the left.
That one doesn't matter.
That's where he went. So I could see where that was a little confusing, but you can see right there, the one on the wall with the red stripe, that's actually the restart cone that you're supposed to throttle up, you know, when you're the leader and take the green flag. So tough break for Christopher Bell. He had a dominant performance. He was running really well, came from the back, and he's going to have to do it again here in the closing laps.
So the lead is handed over to Sheldon Creed in that white 40 for Levine Racing. Matt Levine and Ron Norman own the team together. They've never won in the K&N Pro Series. Their driver for the weekend, Sheldon Creed, is a control car, and he gets a nice restart with just a few laps to go.
Definitely the best restart, hooking up those rear tires for Sheldon Creed in the 40, but Haley Deegan is going to push hard. Cole Rouse getting into his teammate, Brendan Gaughan.
Gaughan way high. He takes to the high side. He's going to find a little grip up there and try to hang on to fourth. But no, Cole Keats is going to take it on the inside.
And Haley Deegan able to clear Derek Thorne in the 6th, so she's not out of this thing, just a couple of car lengths behind Sheldon Creed in the 40. And I can guarantee she's driving for all she's worth right now, just trying to get to that lead.
Final lap of the race. Sheldon Creed has it, but can Haley Deegan run him down? Derek Thorne is right there, too, down the backstretch, and Creed gets a little bit of a lead going into 3.
He has a good lead, but if he slips up just a little bit, Haley Deegan in the 19 and Derek Thorne in the 6 are going to be right there.
Creed puts the power down. He's true off the corner. Creed is going to win in Las Vegas. Look at that. Wow. And for Matt Levine and Ron Norman, what a night.
That's huge, and especially for Sheldon Creed. I know how much he loves dirt racing and coming out here. So for him and his crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz, and that team to be out here and get the win, as you mentioned, with Ron Norman, Mount Levine, really cool night for that group.
So a late restart violation takes Christopher Bell out of the picture. Sheldon Creed capitalizes. We'll talk to him.